Today's video is going to be very interesting because we are going to talk about a level that just got verified that is potentially in the top 5 to 10 range and probably in the higher end of that value. This is the top player nickname. You probably heard of this guy. He's been popping off recently and he's been in the spotlight a lot. He is currently the second highest ranked Russian player on the stats viewer, just below Vorten, but he is probably higher than where he is on the demon list in skill. He is 13th, but honestly he's definitely in the top 10, and he's got a lot of hard levels under his belt, right? He has stuff like Andromeda, Avernus, Acheron, Tunnel of Despair, Kiyuki, Cosmos, Deimos, and very notably, he has Ashley Wave Trials. And that is because Nickname was the first victor of Ashley Wave Trials. This was a really hard level that is currently in the top 15 that it basically just went without a victor for a while after Zoink verified it, and Nickname was actually able to follow through after a very competitive race with a bunch of people that lasted a pretty short time, but he just absolutely blitzed through this level. It was super impressive to see. But he's actually a lot more well known for his progress on a level called Green Bullet. You can see here that 9 months ago he started this verification, and at the time it was a top 15, but the level eventually ended up getting changed a bit. As you can see, it landed top 10 here around 8 months ago, and by the time 5 months ago hit, this was a potential top 5 verification, and it seemed to be a level that could potentially be harder than Tidal Wave. From what I've been hearing now, I think that it's now believed it's slightly below Tidal Wave. Like I said, it's in this top 5 to 10 range. At the highest end, it's around Orbit difficulty, but there is still a chance that it could be Tidal Wave difficulty. And yeah, 3 days ago, he was able to get 89%, but he was actually 3% away from beating it, and that is because there's a very long end screen in this level. And if you can't tell, this is the level that he verified, obviously. Now, we'll talk a bit about that later, but let me just first talk you through this level. I think that it's a very interesting one. It definitely kind of caters towards the 2.2 vibe a lot more. A lot of levels are kind of scared to use 2.2 features. This one makes heavy use of the camera controls, right? There's a lot of zoom-ins and close-ups in this level, but it's also very fast-paced. It is kind of this technological green level. Now, from what I can tell, the hardest parts seem to be the wave gaps. There's some really hard looking wave gaps here, but there's a lot of robot and ball gameplay in this level. You saw a couple there. This level has a lot going on. It's not just one specific game mode. It kind of caters towards everything, so I am kind of hesitant to saying there's one part of the level that's harder than the other, because there's just so much of every game mode. It very well could be that the hardest part's a ship or a ball part or a cube part, because it does just utilize everything, and I think that's really cool. I think it's nice that we're having a spread of levels that are kind of catering towards a specific game mode, and then others that are using a bunch of them. It's making for a very diverse list, and I think this is going to be a great addition to the top 10. Something tells me that a lot of people are going to find this level a bit unmemorable, because for some reason, a lot of these levels that look like this and play like this, and a lot of cherry team levels, they kind of get put into the slop category. This does give me vibes like levels like Penumbral, which people seem to not like very much, so I have got a feeling that this level may ruffle some people. Well, not ruffle some people, but they might just find it boring. But I personally think it's a really cool level. And recently, I mean, this pretty much happened as soon as I'm recording this, Nickname posted on his Telegram that he had verified the level. Now, again, this is really recent, so technically we don't know if he has because there's no video, but why would he lie, right? He's just showing his progress. He has beaten it, and it seems like a bunch of other people are reporting on it now. He has, in fact, verified Green Bullet, and we just need to wait a bit to see that completion video. This is just super cool to see. Also, I didn't even know he was sharing his progress on Telegram, but it turns out he was. He's very active on here. I'm pretty sure a lot of the Russian community do use Telegram a lot, from what I can tell. But yeah, huge GG's. Now, when he got that 89% run, it was after over 102,000 attempts. So we can probably estimate that he's probably got something like 105,000 attempts on this level, which, again, I say this a lot with levels like these. That does seem like a really huge number, and it is. It shows a lot of dedication, but also for a level that is nearing tidal wave difficulty, or potentially could be harder, but I'm pretty sure it isn't, that is still massively impressive. Only 100k. It shows that we are definitely improving as a community. We're actually seeing these levels around tidal wave difficulty, or just the top 10 difficulty in general, start popping up. We're even seeing a lot more victors on stuff like nullscapes and Quantius processing and orbit, right? Really hard levels, and it's just really cool to see. I think the community is in a great place. I mean, for example, in other top level news, Doggy posted that in less than a day, his video on Grief, which isn't even the completion, just a 97% run, got over 1 million views, which just shows that we are hitting new highs, I feel like, in terms of how popular GD is in just the outer community sphere, right? Just the wider community on the internet, which is really cool to see. And I think that means that we're going to see a lot more attention be put on to these levels like Green Bullet. They're getting beat. You could debate whether this is a good thing or not, because obviously a lot of people like the more niche community that GD's had. I really liked it back in like 2020. I think it was a good mix of being popular, but it wasn't like everyone was playing it. But I think, the more people, the better for a community like this, right? And also, I feel like, was I the only news creator that didn't talk about this? I swear, I didn't mention this Twitter post, but it seems like everyone did in the community. My bad, I just didn't. But yeah, huge congrats to Nickname. Also, apparently this is probably after around 160 to 170 hours of playtime, which is quite a lot, right? But I've definitely seen way higher on levels. So again, it seems like high amounts, and it is, but it's actually still really impressive. Also, this guy's like the fluking master. I'm just looking at his channel here. I have probably pointed these out before on a video, but look at this. Fluke from 41 on Andromeda. Fluke from 62 on Avernus. What is this guy doing? But anyways, yeah. Huge congrats Nickname for this. I don't know why I'm not subscribed. Why? Okay. There's your new subscriber. But yeah, please go check this guy out. Under 10k subs for stuff like this. Like achievements that are mind-boggling, right? I think more attention needs to be put on here. And also, I do wonder how long people like Popoff and Zoink are going to take on these levels. It's going to be kind of funny to see him probably blitz this level, but it's also going to be cool to see, a level in the top 5 that isn't just verified by one of the 2 major players, right? I guess we do have Flame Wall, but that was a while ago now, so this is very fresh. And we're seeing a bunch of other people make amazing progress. It's probably going to happen soon. Like, Servax is going to be Amethyst soon. And A6 was also live streaming for 2 hours today playing Thinking Space 2. He's going to beat that soon, and then, at a later date, it does seem like he is going to come back to beating Vehemence. We're seeing so much progress happening, and Green Bullet is just the start of these completions actually taking place. We've had a couple months where we've seen major progress on levels, but now we're entering the era where all these levels that we've been hyping up are getting verified, and it's cool to see that Green Bullet is kind of like the first of its kind. Now, that's all that I have to say regarding the actual news, so if you're done with the news, you can click off. However, I just want to announce I am hosting a GD World Cup. I know the GD World Tournament exists, but I want to do something for my community specifically that's just more laid back. It plays like the World Cup in terms of how the brackets work and how the countries play against each other. However, it will be using the GD World Tournament idea of you get to a certain part in the level and you get points depending on how far you reach in it over like a time span 10 to 20 minutes. It's just going to be really fun, and if you're interested in it, the Discord link is there on my community posts. But enough advertising. You came here for Green Bullet and I provided you with that. I'm done. So thanks for watching all the way through. Nothing more to say, and peace.